Hi everybody, Dan Illman, Mike Beer, the DRFBets race of the day for Sunday, April the 21st, race number 6 at Woodbine. It's the $100,000 Star Shoot Stakes. For our loyal race of the day viewers this month, we have a special offer. Money back on the race of the day. Find out more at promos.drf.com, but you can bet $7 to win on any one horse in any race of the day this month. And if your horse runs second or third, you get your money back. Let's meet the field for the Star Shoot, and I want to remind everybody that you can access free Formulator past performances for this race on the Race of the Day event page at DRF.com. Download them, handicap along with us. We'll take the field in post-position order, and Mike, one of the handicapping challenges in playing Woodbine this type of the year is you're going to have to deal with a lot of layoff horses, and the number one Speedy Soul fits the bill.
Yeah, I mean, if you don't want a shipper coming in, then you're going to have to take a layoff. Speedy Soul is one of those. Listen, I thought this horse ran really well in both of her starts last year. Didn't have a lot of speed. I liked both of her wins. I thought she won very easily. You know, we'll see what happens with the trainer change. If she stays around 10-1, even switching to this barn, I'm probably going to use this horse. And I thought she ran well in both races.
I agree with you. She came from far off the pace to run down fields, including beating two next out winners in the Muskoka Stakes. Now, after the Muskoka, the barn then, trained by trainer Andrew Smith, said, I want to stretch her out. I want to run her in the Mazarine. I want to run her in the Princess Elizabeth. She had some shin issues reportedly. She missed the rest of the year. And I wonder if Mark Casse is going to use this race as a building block to a two-turn event down the road. The goal for many of these fillies, obviously, is the Woodbine Oaks. The number 2 is Miss Miz. This one's going to try synthetic for the first time. Miz and Mass, 12% winners with synthetic runners. The Dam won on a synthetic surface in France. Last time out in the stakes debut, just nothing worked out.
Yeah, she has a big excuse for the last one. I would put a line through it. I suppose when you go back at Tampa, she just had such a soft trip on the lead. Got loose in there, no pressure, had plenty left when they came to Challenger, and then held on. I thought that effort was okay. I liked her sprint debut, though. She seemed fine to me, sprinting a little green in that race, but I liked that performance. I love the Miz and Masks. I think synthetic could be okay. I think turning back could be okay for this horse. I think she's a contender.
Do you think she'll revert to those pace pressing tactics with the good break despite cutting back in distance, or do you think she's going to have to come a little bit further from off the pace?
I think she can. I think she has enough speed to stay close. I don't think she can make the lead in here. I think there's too much speed to her outside probably, but I think she'll be close.
The number 3 is Power Gal, going out for Mark Casse. This horse won the Martha Washington on dirt 2 starts back. I did not think that was a strong field. And then this filly was 7-2 in the Grade 3 Honeybee and didn't do any running despite having a fast pace to run into. Now, the Empire makers do well on synthetic. According to Formulator, 18% winners on a synthetic surface. The Dam also won on a synthetic surface. I kind of like this horse turning back a little bit. I think she may need some pace, though.
I like her turning back, too, but I just wonder what kind of trip she can get. And obviously, just based on what she's done so far, I know she's a stakes winner. I think she's got to improve on the surface switch to beat this field.
She's not the morning line favorite, but I would argue that the horse they might all have to beat is the number 4, My Gal Betty, going out for Roger Attfield. Now, this horse didn't do much running in the Grade 3 Here Comes the Bride, but I get the feeling in recent years that Attfield uses these horses' starts over the winter at either Gulfstream, at Keeneland, as mere starting off points. And this horse's sprint races, whether it be on turf and synthetic, are all good. I think My Gal Betty's going to give a good account of herself on Sunday.
I agree. Turning back, I think, is going to really work for her, and she doesn't need the lead to be effective. Unfortunately, she was disqualified when she won that My Dear Girl last year, but she ran well in that race with a little bit of a troubled trip. I think this horse is super dangerous in here.
Let's move on to the Timeform US Pace Projector because they expect the number 5, Sister Peacock, to make the early lead, and that red bar indicates that the fans at Timeform expect, our friends at Timeform expect the pace to be fast. Sister Peacock made the lead last time out on the turf. She got necked. Her 2 sprint races on synthetic were good. I do question the quality of the field she faced then.
I think she's probably facing a much better horses in this spot, but how can you knock what she's done so far? Her synthetic races are good, her turf races are good, she's turning back in distance, she has speed. I don't have any argument with anybody who likes this horse, and I actually think she might be an okay price in this race.
The number 6 is CC Tequila, also trained by Mark Casse. We expect her to be close to the pace as well. She comes out of the Glorious Song Stakes back in November, where she finished ahead of a horse that came back to run second with a 70 buyer and a non-winners of one other than at Woodbine. We do have a nice Mark Casse formulator fact. Over the past 2 years, with 3-year-old synthetic sprinters returning off 2 to 4 month layoffs, he's 4 for 7, 6 out of 7 on the board, and a big ROI of $11.60. The issue perhaps with CC Tequila is she has already been beaten by a couple of these.
Yeah, and she ran a lot last year too. So I guess you could still wonder how much improvement she really has in her. I didn't love her as a 2-year-old. Maybe she'll be better at 3. I don't like her in this race that much, Dan, but I'm not arguing at 8 to 1 if you want to take a shot with her.
Another first-time synthetic runner is the 7, Special for You. Sire Super Saver wins 12% with synthetic runners. The Dam won on synthetic, has foaled a synthetic winner. This one was 5 to 1 last time out against Out for a Spin, who came back to upset the Ashland, a grade 1 at Keeneland with an 88 buyer speed figure. I wonder about the distance with this one. Maybe this one wants a little longer.
Yeah, maybe she does. I mean, so far, she really hasn't run a race that makes her a big contender in here, but she's a big price on the money line.
Blinkers off for the 8, Kettle Valley, who ran well twice without blinkers on turf, and I just don't think she's a dirt horse. They ran her once on Keeneland on the dirt with the blinkers. She didn't seem to fire at all. The City Zips can do anything, 17% winners on synth. The Dam has already folded a synthetic winner, and we have a nice formulator fact for this new barn. Past 3 years, dirt to synthetic, 4 for 8, 7 of 8 on the board, $14.81 ROI. This is another one, though. Needs a little bit of pace to set her up.
Yeah, that's a big stat. Yeah, needs some pace. Also needs to improve. I mean, there are horses here who just run better than she has so far. But she's very lightly raced. I like that she took a big step forward off that layoff in her first start back.
The 9 in Tango Rose has a big pedigree, a Stronach homebred. This is a filly that was no surprise. Bet down to odds on in both of her sprint starts last summer at Woodbine, and she won both very nicely. She hasn't exactly figured out the break yet. She took a little hop at the start, then rushed up to push the pace 4 wide last time, but she beat CC Tequila on the square. Now, after that race, it was reported that she came down with some splint issues. She's missed a lot of time, but if she comes back running, she seems like a good, big, strong-bodied filly, and I think she gets a good trip stalking the pace on the outside.
Yeah, I agree with all that. I mean, I liked both of her races last year. I thought she won both times very easily. I'm a little concerned, as you sort of alluded to, that she doesn't break. In both of her starts last year, she was slow away from the gate. She has to figure that stuff out. But overall, her 2 races as a 2-year-old were very good.
Malibu Dawn completes this field. This one now is under the care of Gail Cox, a sprint winner at Woodbine last year. Didn't think she ran badly in the Princess Elizabeth, a little bit eager setting the pace inside, and then was no match for the winner when that one came calling at the quarter pole. They've tried turf the last 2 races. Something tells me that's really not her game. So getting back to synthetic, I think, is okay for her. I think getting back to sprinting is okay for her, but I just didn't love that field she was in against last time out, and that was the prep.
Yeah, that was the prep. So, maybe she can, coming into a race like this, take a step forward off of that race. I don't know. I think she's okay. Another horse who, at a big price, I'm not going to argue with, but I prefer others.
Let's take a look at our top selection for the Star Shoot Stakes. We were both really taken with both of Intango Rose's races last year at 2. Again, you always worry off the layoff that these connections might be using this as a prep. This horse was 18 to 1 on the hypothetical Queen's Plate morning line, Winterbook morning line that our DRF handicappers up in Canada came up with over the winter. In Tango Rose, though, my top pick, I'm going 9-5-2. How about you?
Yeah, I'm going 9 on top. I'm using my gal Betty, the 4. I think she's dangerous coming back to the surface, and I'm definitely using that one if she stays at a big price. I liked her races last year.
Nice way to have the feature at Woodbine on Saturday. Full field of 3-year-old fillies going 6 furlongs on the Tapeta. It's the Star Shoot Stakes. Make sure to bet with a DRFBets account, because when you bet the race of the day in April, if you bet $7 to win on any one horse, and that horse runs second or third, you get your money back. Learn more, promos.drf.com. Approximate post time for the Star Shoot, 3:40 Eastern. Best of luck.